Hey, Schoolbus here, welcoming you to the third episode of History vs. World of Tanks. And today we're going to talk about the engines used in these World War II tanks. And if you don't know this about Schoolbus yet, you will know after this episode. I'm a bit of a gearhead. I like car engines, I like aircraft engines. I'm learning a lot about tank engines as I get more into World of Tanks and some of the history behind it. So, stick around today if you want to know things like, why is a Sherman tank so tall? Was the Tiger tank diesel-powered, or was it gasoline-powered? Are the engines that we see in World of Tanks when we go through the tech tree, are those actually the engines that were used in the tanks? And then lastly, we'll bring all that together and look at, do these historical elements have any effect on the gameplay within World of Tanks? So if you're interested in any of that, stick around, check this out. I think you'll enjoy today's content. Starting out first here, we'll look at the US and some of their famous engines. So most notably, the US tended to use radial engines in a lot of their popular tanks. So starting out with the R670 and the M1, M2, and M3, and then moving up to the Wright R975 in the M4 Sherman and the M18 Hellcat. And then they went even bigger in the test prototypes for the T1 Heavy and the M6 in the form of the 1820 radial. And then also we have Ford. They did some interesting things where first they started out saying, hey, we're just going to lease the design of the British Meteor engine and use that. And then they decided, well, no, we're not going to use that. We're going to develop our own design. Well, then the war started to get kind of serious and they were running out of time. So then they went back to the plan of, all right, fine, let's lease the Meteor engine from the Brits. And so they came up with a version that instead of being 12 cylinders was 8 cylinders. And they used that in a few tanks. And then when they needed a bigger engine, they went back and they added on the 4 cylinders, and they had a larger 12-cylinder version that was then used in the T-29, T-30, and T-34 program. And in regards to diesel engines, the M4 Sherman, when used by the Marines, actually was built as a diesel. The Marines wanted to be able to commonize the fuel type being used across all of their ships and their tanks and their vehicles, and so they ended up using a General Motors engine variant that was diesel powered. So we'll start out first going into some detail on the R975 radial engine. This was used in the M4 Sherman, among others. It was also used in the M10 and the M18 Hellcat. One interesting thing about the use in the Hellcat was that with this lightweight, high-powered engine in that lightweight, relatively small tank, it was the fastest tracked armored vehicle in the world until the turbine-powered M1 Abrams came out in the 80s. That's pretty impressive. You have a World War II vehicle that held a record all the way up through the 80s. So why was this engine so awesome? Well, it only weighed about 300 kilograms, and it could produce 300 to 450 horsepower. And when you compare that power to weight ratio of that engine versus, say, the British Meteor engine, which was about 600 horsepower and weighed 600 to 700 kilograms, and then you've got the Russians at about 600 horsepower at 1,000 kilograms, and then you've got the Germans at about 600 horsepower at 1,300 kilograms. Yeah, technically you've got a little less horsepower here, but that's a lot less weight, and that adds a fair amount to the performance of the vehicles. Now, one side effect, you could call it, of using the radial engines was that you needed a tank that was tall enough to handle the really high or tall engine, and yet it was a fairly short engine, so you could keep the vehicle a little bit shorter. And so if you look here, the comparison of the US tanks on the left and then some of their contemporaries from other nations on the right, you can see that the Sherman and the M3 are a lot taller than the Cromwell or the T-34. And a lot of that comes to do with the packaging that you need to do around that particular engine that's being used. Another nuance to using the radial engines is that when they would sit, as with all radials, the oil pools in the lower cylinders. So
you will see in the next clip here, there was a port that they could extend a shaft in through the back of the tank that would index onto this little spline that would let them rotate the engine over by hand before starting the engine. I think they could also do it with the starter, with the fuel cut off, but anyway, notice that in this next clip.
Okay.
Here we have the R1820 radial engine by Curtiss-Wright. This is a bigger version of the R975. This engine is not very famous for its use in vehicles, but was made famous instead by its use in the B-17 Flying Fortress. And although it didn't see much use in vehicles, where we know about it from Game of World of Tanks is that there was also a G200 variant that was 900 horsepower, and it was used in the M6 heavy tank. And although it didn't actually see any form of production, this was a pretty interesting attempt for the US going into the heavy tank production. And again, just like on the Sherman, it is likely the tall stature of that vehicle had a lot to do with trying to mount a radial engine vertically inside of the hull. You would need quite a bit of clearance to be able to fit that type of an engine in there. The Russians offer a very unique, different take on tank engines, and arguably it's the one that I would have expected to be more of the norm, and I think a lot of the rest of you would have thought that you'd use in big heavy machines, you'd use big diesel engines with lots of torque, maybe sacrificing some horsepower, but having a lot of torque. And that's exactly what the Russians did. And this V2 engine was used across the board. As you can see here on the screen, you go all the way from the BT-7 up through the T-10, and then also in the SU tank destroyers from the 85 up through the 152. And though it doesn't show it on here, I bet you would find that a lot of the prototypes that we see in the Russian tank trees also use a derivative of this engine as well. It wasn't a light engine, but compared to, say, the German engines, it was a bit lighter, more displacement. You're looking at about 38 to 39 liters here, where the other
engines we'll be looking at in this series are down more in the mid 20 liter range. But despite that extra displacement, the weight of these engines is not that excessive at about 1,000 kilograms, and you have power output up to around 600 horsepower when it's used in the KV1 and the KV2 variants. So let's talk a little bit more about some of the history of this engine and what led to this design. That the Russians, they had good reason for why they chose a diesel engine, and let's talk a little bit more about that. So what the Russians had the advantage of with their engine development was that they knew that war was coming, and they were planning well ahead of that. And in so doing, they went a direction that allowed them to save fuel a bit, because they wanted to make sure they had something that was, from a resource standpoint, going to be sustainable. And that was a lot of the reason they chose diesel. And they were also able to very intelligently look at their various engine designs being used. Alright, taking over control now from our pre-content. And we stop that. We bring this back up. And here we go. Hey, Schoolbus here. Today, I took the day off, partially because it's my birthday, largely because it was a good opportunity to take a little bit of break from a rather busy work schedule lately. So, thought what better way to celebrate a day off than taking some time to do a little bit of World of Tanks. So rather than just play it, figured what the heck, I would capture it. And if some of you are able to watch it live, great. You can do what I do a lot of times and watch some of the YouTube streamers as I'm doing my work and just kind of listen to it in the background. And I'm able to vicariously or by osmosis or something, I'm able to enjoy it along with them. So you might be able to do that now live, or you might be listening in later. Possibly for some of you on the other side of the pond from me, you might be hitting near the end of your work day anyway, so that's pretty awesome. Alright, so nothing too fancy about this today. I'm just going to go in here, fire up, let's see, I'll probably play for an hour here before I go and pick up some lunch. Let's do some crew boosts, and I need free experience, but all of those... Okay, we'll do this one for an hour. Alright, got our boosts going. Let's start out with some light tank gameplay in the LTTB. So I got a few tanks I'm grinding along here, and I think maybe today, I don't know if I'll do it this morning, but when I do this again this afternoon, I kind of like to start out the British TD line. I think I'm going to jump in at around tier 5. You can play the Sherman 3, go to the Firefly, and then jump down to the Challenger. I think that's what I'm going to do. What I might push is jumping straight to tier 6. Can't quite figure that part out yet. Matchmaker's having a little bit of trouble here. Not a whole lot of people on US Central. I probably should have gone east. There'd be ever so slightly more. I think right now I'm probably playing mostly with college kids that are between classes. I remember doing that. It wasn't World of Tanks though. It was probably Diablo 2. That's probably what I was sneaking in between classes when I should have been studying. And if you caught that video at the beginning of this stream, you can find that out on the channel. It actually did not get very many views, which kind of sucked because I put a lot of effort into it, of talking about the historical elements of the engines used in some of the popular World War II tanks. And largely, spoiler alert, a lot of it is aviation derived. Basically take an aviation engine, pull off the supercharger, lower the compression ratio. Actually, maybe you don't even change the compression ratio, because really the supercharger was adding that compression. And bingo, you have yourself a tank engine. There we go. Hopefully they don't start blind firing. Ooh, he's trying. This is going pretty well. All right. With this type of deployment, I might be able to push. I'd like to push out into the marshy area there ahead of me, but I don't know if I have enough tanks behind me. I think maybe instead I should be here to defend against such behaviors. I also don't want to get clipped out by that Lorraine. There's a T-34. I do like having that standard B though. Alright. Let's do this. Alright, new plan. Swing around this way, see if we can flank some of these suckers. Odds are they're just going to turn around and destroy me, but if that standard B follows me, this could go well. And he is. Run, Artie! Run! No joke. Yeah, I should have done this a little quicker. Standard B did not do what I thought he was going to do, which is unfortunate. Now he's a one-shot, which I like. Oh, you gotta be kidding me, really? 2, 1. There we go. Good. Now, the Skoda. Does he have the autoloader? And where did he go? Whew. Ah. Freaking Lorraine, man. Guess we're gonna have to load the gold. Looking my way though. Oh, shouldn't have tried to mix that one up. Bummer. That was a pretty lousy team. I think this is my second attempt at this tank today. I played a couple of rounds really early this morning, and it didn't go well. It didn't go well at all. Oh, did I bait him? I didn't even notice that. Did I bait him into a team kill? I didn't look over to see it in the replay there quick enough. Well, not much for damage, but I got 2 kills. That's pretty cool. Let's give that a go. Redo that. Even though nobody's watching the live stream live right now, it is somewhat helpful to me if I do my live streams, or if I stream it live, I don't have to separately do an upload. And typically when I do my recording and then upload it, I do it at 2K at 60 frames a second. Those get to be big files. They look good, they play well, but they're a little rough on the upload side. Matchmaker, matchmaker, make me a match. Glacier. Turn off the lights. Oh, it's a lot of damage to do to light tanks. Maybe that's why I keep getting singled out in my light tanks. It's people trying to do that stupid mission. I thought my tank time today was going to get encroached upon by the fact that yesterday I went down into my basement, into my utility closet where like my furnace, water softener, and hot water heater are located. And there was a big puddle coming out of my hot water heater. So I very quickly went to my local Home Depot and found an almost identical replacement, brought it home, and in about an hour and a half I had it all set up and ready to go again. I'm just really glad that a couple years ago, oops, oh man, these guys are pushing right up. I'm glad a couple years ago that I took out all of the sweated hard line and replaced it with flexible lines so I could do a quick attachment. And yeah, it paid off. It was a pretty quick conversion. Oh, dang, 1390. He definitely got up there. Actually hit closer than I thought I would. Well, that did not go well. Must be that cupola. Did he punch one through there? Huh, I can't even see where he hit me. I didn't think I was exposing anything. Oh well. Had a really rough time on this map as of late. See if this guy tries to peek. Must not be able to safely do that. Oh, it was him that let me. Running out of ideas here. Jeez. Wow. Yeah, that was going to shit town in a hurry. I really hate this. Really don't like this tank. Yeah, it's good to not let him up there. That's an interesting point. When this map first came out, everybody tried to get on top of the ship. And then I felt like over time, too many people got whacked trying to do it, and it isn't always beneficial. But now I'm seeing it become a little more common again where people are trying to get it. And definitely if a team captures it, they have an obvious advantage over the heavies. Alright, we're going to try third time's a charm here. And see, you guys are holding me accountable, anybody watching this? Because I can't go into a complete rage if I lose yet again. Man, 196 damage. What? I landed one shell. But my opinion on this map is that not enough people understand yet where to set up to focus on the choke points. And the one that everybody does focus on is the wrong one, and it's the base camp to catch like the heavies coming around one way or the heavies coming around the other way. There's one problem with that. That means that your team has lost by the time you are able to do anything. So I really think you need to get into spots to cover the mid and to cover the ramp leading up to the ships, which actually those two locations are basically the same. And maybe to a lesser extent, watching the forest area in the south. Alright, we're going to try this LTTB one more time, and then I am casting it to the curb. It is so far my least favorite light tank that I have played from tier 6 and up. I loved the tier 7 LTG. That thing was a blast, and I knew I was going to miss it. Well, this is either going to go really well or really bad. Prokhorovka and a light tank, there is no in-between. Now, which way to play it? We have artillery. I'm a little bit to the left of the map. I think I'm going to shoot up to the rail line, cut across the E line, and up the mountain. There's nobody in chat to tell me not to, so that's what we're going to do.
Let's get this show on the road.
Here we go. Interesting, I'm not lighting anybody over here. Nobody crossed the rail line. Isn't that? Oh, there's one.
tunnels. I know that they haven't gotten up here yet. I'll spin around. And we'll see what we can do. They're saying push. Do I have support? Nope. Oh, too late now.
Enemy is hit. Our main gun is damaged. It's working, but not very well.
Oh, this is great. So, case in point here of how moronic people can be. You will notice that I pinged the map. I said where I was going. Or at least that's what I would expect they would have interpreted it to be. But as you can see, the Hawk 12, he drives over there anyway. Nothing grinds my gears more than incompetent light tanks. Oh, that hurt too. Dang, wish I would have gotten the spotting on that. Now, wow. Okay, so I think we can all agree that this tank is cursed from the standpoint of absolutely idiotic team members. Look at this. The whole team is camped back here. I don't know if we'll get away with this or not, but I think I gotta be aggressive to get these pansies to pull their freaking tails out from between their legs. Get the turret pointed back this way. Make a quick run up on the ridge. Nothing. There we go. We'll be able to get a lot of spotting. At least I'd like to. Uh-oh, Jetto. Come on, somebody nail him. There we go.
Permission to engage. Penetration. Where'd they go?
There we go. I'll take that. Now, I guess here's the one advantage of having stupid enemies, or friendlies, is that it does give you the chance to be a hero. Alright, gotta be careful. Could end up getting destroyed at this point. What do you think? Can I poke up here?
Permission to engage. Target lost.
Ah, Pantera's stealing all my viz. I'm back in the lead again. Don't know where that Progetto is. I don't know. Problem is he's got an auto reloader. Alright. Try. Got some support now, which is good. There we are. Alright, let's see if we can get across here. And see if we can spot some stuff up here. Alright. Where do you suppose those guys are camping? If they're back here, their team has to be absolutely furious with them. Nice. There we go. I'll take that. Let's load some gold. I don't think we can do this without it. Nice. I'll take that. Oh man, we get to damage farm? Oh, that is incredible. This has the makings of an ace tanker. Ooh, especially if I get the kill. They're probably going to think I was holding my shots or something. I was not. I feel like the second half of this game sort of fell in my lap, but man, the beginning was a little rough. Let's see if we can get some cap points.
Enemy armor is damaged.
Oh.
That one didn't go through.
Oh, not getting that. Alright. I'll take it. I'll take it. I'm real happy with that. Have a hunch that could be an ace tanker. That's a fair amount of spotting and a decent amount of damage. Especially at tier 8 in the LTTB. Oh! So close. So close. I wonder how far off of it I was. Oh, that's a shame. And I've had a first class before, so that wasn't anything new. Bummer. I needed to land that that kill on the Conway. I think that would have sealed the deal. Have anything? No. 193. Whew, it's going to take a while. Okay. Next. Let's see what we got here. Tier 7. Alright, we'll do this guy. It's a problem with these dang times 3s and 4s and 5s. You spend so much time trying to chase it that you would have been better off just to do something else, I feel like. Oh, you know what? I just realized I didn't change the name on this. Schoolbus Live 1029. There we are. Good, good. Alright, what have we got here? Erlenberg.
really don't feel like cutting into the middle.
Move out.
My instincts are telling me to be a little bit campy. What we always have to do is figure out what are the strengths of your tank. And this one is, it's got good alpha and a decent DPM. But it doesn't have jack for mobility, view range, any of that stuff. So I'm just going to sit back here and wait for the enemy team to do something silly. Oh yeah, it's also not very fast. Other than maybe in free fall or down a really steep hill. It's pretty good then. They don't really have any light tanks, do they? Neither do we. Like that. There's a building there, or something. All right. What's going on over here? I was hoping that KB2'd come around the other way. That'd be nice. Oh, you guys are smart, huh? You'd be smart. Alright, this is that moment where you ask yourself, well, could you do some repositioning and do something more productive? The answer might be yes. Guys are visible now. Cut through the buildings. Cut over to here. I don't think they can spot me yet here. Oh, there we go. 4, 3, 2, 1. Figures. 4, 3, 2, boom. Ah, he stopped. Come on. And this is where I say this thing's very mediocre. Now, granted, I am on the stock gun, which has less penetration than the other gun, but I highly advise, if you have the means, fire a lot of gold rounds in this thing. Really improves your shell velocity and your penetration. At some range, it would begin to have diminishing. See what I mean about shell velocity? Look at that. That's pathetic. Wait for him to come around. Oh. Alright, does that take care of enough? Ah, there are still tanks on the hill. I gotta be careful. Alright. Let's get in here. We're going to go ahead and load gold. I think it only has 160 pen. 140 pen. Oni. Oh my. Let's see if he pokes back out. Uh-oh. Here comes the Oni. Shoot, 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 shoot.
Is he looking at me? Alright, let's load up some different shells. Let's get some. Three, two, one. Oh, come on. Oh, there's nobody there to light them. Dang it. Well, that's no good. That is no good at all. Oh, they're running all over too. Oh, I'm the only tank left. Oh, that's not good.
Ready to fire. Enemy armor is damaged. Track hit. Armor tracks is damaged. The loader bought the farm. We can't reload as fast. Target unlocked.
Well, that didn't go well. I swear that Pershing disappeared for a second. Am I just crazy? Alright, I'm going to watch this on my stream replay over here. That got intense there for a bit. Okay, so there he is. Rewatching the replay. I'm looking. Oh, I must have just been not cursored over him. The outline disappeared for a second. So I didn't pull the trigger. I should have pulled the trigger. Well, if that wasn't a team of scrubs, apologies if any of you were on that team. So is it going to take 3 games for each tank to be able to get a win? I don't know. I don't know. Let's see here. Pardon me for a moment. I'm going to do a brief check-in with work. It's a bad idea, I know. Good. Oh, we had some dropped frames. Maybe I'm pushing the envelope a little bit too much.
Let's go.
Tier 9 game. I am so going to die. But we're going to try and find this. Can't tell if this thing's a little more nimble now with the track upgrade. That last game, I think, was the first one I played with the new tracks on it. Oh, I hope they are able to kill that T-54. That would be pathetic. But yeah, if any enemy tanks come hill, we're done. I think that T-54 is actually going to get away with this. Unless artillery drills him. That is insane. He was able to kill one of our artillery. And I'm going to hang back ready to defend, although we've got a lot of tanks right there, which is good.
it looks like the enemy team has forgone the hill. I'm going to go ahead and load gold. Any shells I get the chance to fire, I want them to do something. The scent has that covered. Is there anybody in the middle? Ooh, there it is. Oh, we're off to a splendid start here. Go. 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Dang it, poor Centurion. He's taking a little more of a beating than I had hoped. Oh, more than a beating now. No. Oh, dang it. Don't do that, man. Don't do it. Don't do it, man. Alright, I'm going to switch back over to my regular rounds. I'm going to get moved back over here. I think it is. It's three times a charm. I'll definitely give it a go again.
Target acquired. Penetration. Let's find another target. Penetration. Target acquired. Enemy armor is hit. Target unlocked.
2. Alright, T-26 is coming around the back. I'm going to go ahead and call him on that. Try and not damage this thing. Not good, he's so fixated.
Enemy armor is destroyed.
Alright. Keep moving along. Oop. Oh, shoot. So I'm going to loop back this way. See if I can raise anybody. You gotta figure they're pushing in hard. The question is where? Oh, there he was. Oh! That was actually closer than I would have thought.
Ready to fire. Penetration. Enemy armor is hit. Enemy vehicle destroyed.
There we go. He's looking right at me. Ah!
Enemy armor is damaged.
Muffed that one.
Penetration.
Good.
Kid. Enemy armor
Ah!
damaged. We've lost the track.
Oh no!
Scratch them.
It's really stuck now.
One of our tracks is damaged. Enemy armor is destroyed.
Uh-oh, I think it's over. Short of a
Nah, death? Nope.
Enemy armor is damaged.
Oh, he finally got me. Permatract. Well, I tried. Hey, all right. Sweet. Next mission. Oh. MT-15. Wow. Sweet. I'll have to come back to that. Yes. Ace tanker. Sweet. Alright, take some print screens here. Pardon me for a moment while I go out and grab this. So, I don't know if you count that as success or failure or what. I guess I'll take the ace tanker in lieu of a experience bonus. Oops. So I want to grab my replay here. So I have it. P43 Tur Ace. There we are. Yeah, I probably wasn't very chatty toward the end of that one. That was starting to get pretty intense. But yeah, he had me permatrack there at the end, and that was making it a little frustrating. And I'll also admit I thought I was dead long before I actually died. Nope, not quite to the turret yet. How much does that add to my view range? View range 380 up from 360. That'll be helpful. And then horsepower 700 from 520. That's another big one. That's real big. I may actually take that first. Because man, this thing is atrocious with that engine. So tier 8. Good. Tier 9. Oh, hey, we got a new tank to try out here. I will move. I'll do that in the afternoon session. I don't want to waste any of my boost time here. So I'm gathering Monday morning is not a popular time for people to watch streaming. Can't say I entirely blame them. Yeah, we'll get that Skoda equipped this afternoon. Got a few things I need to do around the house and the garage. I kind of wanted to have a mixed day of being productive and doing some tanks.
Time to roll out.
All right, here we go. I had a feeling I would get lit doing that. I don't want to fire another premium round. Whoo, that was close. Pucker Vector 10. Alright, I think we've got a good move here on the field. Nice work, T-71. I like a scout that has some balls, but not stupid. And I'm putting him in that category. I think I've gone dark. He thinks he's hidden. He's probably gonna... Ah! Biscuit. I should have gone for an easier target. Let's see if we can get this sent. I don't want to really waste it. Pretty big hit. Getting some nice spots here.
I also don't think I got lit that last time. So we're going to go ahead and push ahead here. Did I lose? Oh, the T-71 died. Did Ike kill him? Oh, no. Ike was smart. Got Charioteer backing me up and a Lorraine. That's nice. Where'd that artillery go? Is he over here or did he abandon the field? He is not here. Oh. Deleted. Oh! Got shot in the ass by them 12.
The gunner is dead. We're trying to cover for him.
Pretty good round here, gotta say. Oh, my turret's damaged. There we are. Yeah, that was a big hit in the old tailpipe there. Another M12. Glad it hit.
Track hit. Permission to engage. Critical hit. We've lost a track.
Come on, guys. You gotta kill him. Come on. There we go. Where'd he go? I think we saw pretty clearly where he went. To hell in a handbasket. Sweet. That was a good game. I played that well, other than getting shot in the ass by that M12. I figured, what are the odds that he hadn't fired? Another ace in the T-49. 2 aces in one session? This is not a school bus normal. Just want to be clear about that. As you can see, I did already have one in the T-49. I think it was a long time ago, though. I really don't remember it. Got to get to 229. All right, 5 more minutes here. Okay, so things have been going really well. Now let's see something not so spectacular. I do not play this tank very well. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I don't play this tank well. This is a decent map for it. Magical Forest, here we come.
Time to roll out.
How aggressive to be? Be kind of aggressive, be not at all aggressive. Camp Oosh. Try not to go range trees. I like getting right up in their face with this thing. It's got good gun depression. makes a pretty good tank for lighting these turkeys up. We will knock down that. Oh, there's a lot of beef on the other side. Follow me. Why would I follow a T-95? He's so slow. Huh? Yes, I think they are pushing the other side really hard.
One of our tracks is damaged.
Could have done without pulling out in front of an autoloader. Yeah, this isn't going to go well now.
Ammo storage is hit. We're lucky it didn't blow.
We're going to die.
Penetration.
And that's the end of it. I should have waited. I should have waited. I forget about how far you have to go past that point to get into another hull down location. I just hope these guys move up here and get into it quick enough. Oh well. So there you have it. I just don't do well with that tank. I look forward to getting this tank. I think that looks like a righteously good tank. If I was in enemy 1, that is exactly the position I would have taken up. I think the team overall, though, is going to lose. I don't see this going well. What are you doing? I guess he's figuring that he should be moving on to other targets. That Emil's gonna be loaded here pretty quick, buddy. Yeah, see? What an idiot. I mean, I guess maybe his thinking was, I'm gonna let the SU get some free damage. I don't know. It is not the play I would have made. Focus fire. Focus fire will rarely let you down. I'm not saying I'm perfect at it, but focus fire generally will not let you down. Well, I think it's time to wrap this up, because I'm getting hungry. I want to go get some lunch. So, I'm going to sign off now. I will be doing a session later, so if you happen to watch this before the next session starts, keep an eye out for that. In the meantime, though, enjoy your work day, or day off, or school day, whatever it is for you. For me, I'm enjoying a vacation day today. So, off to the pet store to get some dog food, and then get myself some lunch. Later, all.